Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while. My name's Irini Bekhit. I'm the president of the American Coptic Council. And today we are joined by not politicians, not policymakers, but we are joined by future policymakers. Today, we're going to actually be talking to Marina Nasef and Antoun Zaki. You've probably seen them either on our website or in videos that we've done. And Marina and Antoun are just two of the young people that we've been working with since the launch of this organization. And today's segment is going to be short, and it's really going to just highlight the importance of getting involved and why we, as the American Coptic Council, are always actively looking for young people that are ready to make a difference, ready to be involved, and actually commit the time. Because we've gotten so much feedback, over the past couple of years, and people like, contact us, we want to get involved, and then we give them a task to do, and it's half-assed. Nobody does it. Nobody does anything. And so if you want to make a difference, look around you today. I can name a million topics, two very prevalent ones that are happening around us. It doesn't matter what state you live in, and it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on, but think about it. Vaccine, for example, who's making the decisions? The government, the policymakers are. So people are making decisions that are impacting your life. You wanna get involved. So I'm going to ask some questions of Antoun and Marina, and I'm going to be specific in who I ask the questions to, and it's just general stuff, so you can kind of see what it is that we do, and maybe you'll reach out, and maybe you'll want to also get involved. So Antoun, I'm going to start with you. You're actually
Sure.
a director on the American Coptic Council. Why is it that you decided to get involved?
Uh, First and foremost, thank you for giving me the time to speak, Irini, and just want to thank everyone who supported us over the years and who continue to support us in our projects and our endeavors in our community outreach. Part of the reason why I joined the American Coptic Council was I could go on and say, oh, it's important to make a difference, but just by viewing the chaos and the convoluted nature of our political system, it was and how things aren't really as they seem. It's all from the local level, and the Catholic community is very vast, but we don't get involved too much. We don't make our voices heard enough, and that's a
Nobody
big
knows
problem.
us, right? No,
Nobody
and that's
knows.
something that you've seen it
Yep,
firsthand, because you and I usually do a
exactly.
lot of these interviews together. Nobody knows who the Coptic people are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They just think of us like when we tell them we're Egyptian, we're Coptic. They think we're 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 either Muslim or whatever, or Maraf, but like the point is we have to go on a tangent and educate them about who we are, our history, how we're a religious and socio-economical minority in Egypt, how the diaspora, how we're very prevalent in the diaspora, the struggles that we went through here, home and back in the motherland. So part of the reason why to go back to part of the reason why I joined is that just to try to get the message across. Oftentimes you hear our brothers and sisters, our relatives complaining about how the way things are run here, or how voting doesn't really count. And then I asked them, and I asked myself, well, what have you done to make a difference today? What have you done to alleviate the situation? What have you done to make things better? And that's on us. And part of the reason, and it adds to the reason why I joined, is just to get our message across, to get our community involved, to make our voices heard, to not only make our voices heard, but to educate our community on how the system works, on how on the issues. What we don't just as a disclaimer, we don't tell them what to vote for or to what policy to choose or anything. We simply hold their hand through both sides of the spectrum and advise them, do what's best for your family, do what's best for you, best for your family, whatever. But here's the data. It's up to you to make a informed and educated decision, and and like the final reason to why I joined is just to make sure that the next generation that come from the motherland or the ones growing up never have to go through the struggles that my parents or myself had to go through. To make sure to set a foundation, not to make life easier for them, but to make to make them more aware of the situation, make them more aware of what's going on around them, so they can be more educated, not left completely in the dark.
Right. And, I had started before we actually started recording. I was saying that, Marina is, your son, Anton, you're definitely younger than me. And Marina,
Yeah.
you're probably like half my age. And, Marina, one of the things I like about you, and I'm going to now turn over to you, is how young you are and your involvement so far. And why don't you tell everybody, how you and I met and how you became involved with this organization?
Sure. Well, first off, thank you for the platform and the opportunity to speak about this. Irina, you've been one of my biggest inspirations, but we'll talk about that later. So how I met Irene was actually through a struggle I faced. So as all of us, or as all the viewers may know, as Coptic Orthodox Christians, our Christmas, January 7th, is not on the DOE calendar. We actually have to go to school. So a normal Monday morning for some people is actually our Christmas, right? And we don't get to celebrate the beauties of Christmas, opening the gifts, going to church, praying, because we have school to worry about. We always have something, even if we have the excused absence, we still have homework to worry about even after school. So it's just a hassle, right? So as a Coptic Orthodox struggling to enjoy my January Christmas, I wanted to make a change. And one of my peers actually made a petition that got over 30,000 supporters, asking the New York State Department of Education to make our Christmas a no school day on the calendar. And I was just shocked, first off, how our community's plea was holding so much public attraction. As Antoine and Irene had stated, our community is kind of non-existent to some people. So the fact that we got 30,000 signups, I was like, you know what, we can't leave all these voices and all these signups just in the dark. We have to voice it out. So I went and called the Staten Island Advance. So that's kind of our residing borough. Just trying to plead to the DOE and showcasing this petition so people of importance can see it and help us make the change even more magnified. And then go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. And I want you to now talk about, because I think that's really the point that you and I kind of met. Now I want you to go into the steps you've now learned, because you didn't drop it, right? You didn't drop this cause. What have you learned? What actually has to be done? So, a lot of people have like these, sign this petition for X, Y, and Z, but the petitions don't really do anything in effectiveness. All you see is kind of, you get an idea of the number of people that want something. So 30,000 votes. Have we been able to get it on the calendar yet?
Nope. But
nope. Why? Tell us why.
Because we don't have persistence. I think this is not even an Orthodox issue. It's a societal issue. I think a lot of unsuccessful people, lack of a better term, they have the ability to make all the change in the world. Me, you, the rich, the poor, the black, the white, the non-Christian, the Christian. The thing the determining factor of success is motivation and is persistence. If you want to make a change, you have to be persistent with it. You can't let it go. The civil rights movement proved that, right? It's all about persistence, all about protest. We can't just leave it in the dark, because then that's just bound to be unsuccessful. We have to learn in discomfort.
I very much, again, I love when I see young people with like such enthusiasm and like such passion. And you're right. This has not been, for any of us to accomplish anything, it's starting something, right? And then it's that continuation of making sure it goes. What are the things that we've been trying to do? And again, Anton knows this because he's a director on the American Coptic Council. We as an organization, we're starting in, I have a 4-year-old, you can hear him, and now he's going to be on this thing. So, okay, go put on the charger, Okay, fine, go away. So what happens is you want to be able to work things in baby steps. That way you can have long-term change. And as Anton said, one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to let people know, policymakers, decision makers, who we are as a community. I'm not going to mention who, but there is somebody very big in the Coptic community, right? And I was trying to get him on this organization, a particular organization. And it was a mayor's committee for something. And I called this person up. I was finally able to get in touch with him. And I was like, oh, send me your resume. I wanted you to be on this. He's like, oh, did they ask for me? I said, they don't even know you exist. We're trying to use our connections to kind of help you. And so that's the problem. I think that the Coptic community is in their own bubble, in their own world. And so we've been taught as young people, again, I wasn't even born in this country. I was born in Egypt, right? I came to the US, I was 7. And I don't know if you guys were born here. Maybe you were
I was
young
born in the
people.
motherland. I was born in Egypt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Born in Egypt.
But like your parents always stress, right? Go to school, you go to church, you go home, you go to school, you go, and education, it's it. And what do you do when you're supposed to grow up? You're supposed to be a doctor. You're supposed to be a pharmacist. That's it. There's like nothing else that you're supposed to do. And we kind of need to change that a little bit, because there's so many other fields that we should be going into and getting involved in our community. And getting involved in our community is so important, right? Because that's how you effectuate change. And it's not just amongst the Coptic community, but like any young person in general. I teach at CSI and I tell my students and I tell interns all the time, you have to be active. You have to take that step. You know, if you don't do that, nothing changes. But people always complain. People always complain, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't do anything. This doesn't change. Well, what did you do about it? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, the whole point of this is really, we're not done. We're not done in what we're trying to do. But, through the American Coptic Council, Antoun has now met with how many politicians? I don't even know. I've lost track.
I want to say about a good 10 politicians I met with.
Yeah. And even though we don't publicize, the ACC does not publicize all our meetings. We do not publicize the conversations we're having with people behind the scenes, but we're slowly making it known who we are as a community. And Marina, can you tell us a little bit, what have you been able to do through the ACC? What was one of the opportunities you were given?
Sure. So I had the luxurious opportunity of working on the political campaign. It was with Max Rose, and I was a canvasser. And I actually I was able to see the behind the scenes of a political campaign, so that we can in turn help the Coptic community recruit politicians. Because again, as I said before, all of us could do change. A politician wasn't born a politician. They were born just like me and you. So seeing, the political scene of a campaign and being able to transfer all the information and all the resources that were used and giving it to the community, that was an awesome opportunity. And
I think that's like so important for young people to get involved in campaigns before they decide to run for anything. Why? Because you get to learn the right and wrong. Sometimes I've met, candidates in our community who are like, yes, I'm going to run. Yes, I'm going to win. But it's like they don't know the first thing about putting together a team. And it's like about the fundraising, about strategy, about timing, about how far in advance you have to do things. And it's like before you want to run a race, you need to train for it. And that's why it's so important for young people. If you think you're interested in this down the line, start volunteering, see what it's actually like Marina did. You learn so much by just volunteering, watching, and observing. And that's the message for today. The message for today is get involved, reach out. If we can help you, we certainly will. One of the things I've seen right now is in New Jersey, there's a lot of, political activism within the Coptic community. I know there's a PAC that was formed recently, which is great. And they're working on, hopefully electing somebody in the Coptic community, which is awesome. But again, it's all young people, our generations or future generations. Are we going to make change, in the next 2 years? Maybe not, but it's about starting. It's about taking that first step and kind of continuing with it. So, that's the point of tonight's really, conversation. Marina is, I'm really proud of Marina and Antoun, because out of all the young people that I've encountered so far in this, they've really, stuck it out. And of course, they're Staten Islanders. So Staten Islanders rock, because, we really are the ones that are making about change. I think half our board is probably from Staten Island. So if you know somebody that is interested in volunteering, getting involved, making a commitment long-term, don't take my word for it. I'm too old. Don't even bother coming to me. Talk to Marina Nasef, talk to Antoun. Antoun, if you know how to put, our contact information, or go to American Coptic Council, our website. Our website has a lot of information on it, and so does our Facebook page. See the things we've done, reach out, And go to Marina and Anton, ask them why they're getting involved, why they continue to be involved, and perhaps we will see you one day on the ballot. Marina, Anton, is there anything else you guys want to add? Anything else you want to say?
If you're ever interested in getting involved, I'm a very approachable guy. Just stop me in the middle of the street or whatever. And I love talking politics. So if you get me involved, I won't shut up. So don't be shy. If you see me, if you're interested in joining and have no way of getting my contact, if you somehow find me on social media, feel free to message me directly. I'll be more than happy to speak with you and see what we can work out.
I completely second what Anton said. Come reach out to me. Again, I'm a very approachable person, and I'm a talker, so I'd love to talk to you.
Anton, Marina, thank you so much for your time. As always, thank you so much for your commitment. And we'll continue to talk outside of these, Zoom things. One day. Yes, one day. But everyone, have a great night. And we look forward to hearing from you, young people, on what your initiatives are and how you want to be involved. Have a great night.
Take care, everyone.